Hey newbies, welcome back. And today is a special day where we are doing another feature. We did a feature on Have NFT, but we are now doing a feature on the blockchain founder of which it exists on, and that is the EKTA blockchain. It is founded by Berwin Tanco, and he is our special guest for today. He's in Bali. We're here in the States. We worked some crazy hours to get this thing done, and we are very excited for you to hear all our questions that you probably have as well, and how he is taking things to another level. Here we go.
Bridging the blockchain and the physical world. What in the world does this mean? We have the founder of EKTA with us, Berwin Tanco, in one of the coolest offices I think I've seen in a very, very long time. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to educate some of us newbies on this innovative way that you guys are using the blockchain.
Hi, Heather. Hi, Rich. Thanks for having me. We're actually a blockchain for newbies, actually, because we actually bridge blockchain to the physical world, which means we are a chain, not focus specifically on the technology, not like Solana or Ethereum or Cardano. We're a chain just as fast and just as scalable and just as secure as them. But our job is to bridge the physical world to the blockchain. So whoever's not in the blockchain yet and that wants to be on the blockchain, you come to us and we help you. We help you improve your lives, and we also improve the environment and help the environment through our blockchain technology.
So that sounds appealing, but what does that mean? Bridging blockchain, how do you do that?
Yeah, so basically, we're a blockchain that's based in Bali, Indonesia. And we founded this blockchain. It's called EKTA. EKTA means unity. So we're basically uniting the islands of Indonesia and uniting the world and bridging the blockchain to the physical world. So there's a lot of real world use cases for our blockchain. Like, for example, in Indonesia, there's a lot of problems with poverty and lack of, they don't have any 401ks. There's lack of access to capital, things like that. So our blockchain helps people improve their lives through, let's say, play to earn games. So the salaries, for example, here in Indonesia is around $200 a month. So by playing our games, you can earn about $400 to $600 a month, which is 3 times their salary. So we also focus on entrepreneurship. So there's a lot of startups that have lack of access to capital. So we tokenize shares of their company and sell their shares as NFTs to investors. And it's an easier way for them to raise capital. Also, it's very hard to get a mortgage here in Indonesia, so it's very hard to sell your property. So we tokenize, we NFT your home or your villa. We break it into smaller fractions, and people can purchase a fraction of a home. So and then we do yeah. We also have games, like NFT games that are related to the environment. So we have tree NFTs, land NFTs, and seed NFTs, and oxygen NFTs. So when people purchase these NFTs, they can play games, they can earn by playing, but also these games go to planting trees and preserving forests. And so, yeah, our blockchain is more like there's a real world use case. So it's easier for you to understand because it's not just about tech. You can actually see us helping people and, preserving forests.
When you mentioned we're not like Solana, we're not like Cardano, there's these other blockchains. Like, what was it that you said to yourself, like, I should probably make a blockchain because I don't like what's going on over there? Mm-hmm. So what did you not like about what you saw in pre-existing blockchains that led you to develop this one?
Oh, there's nothing I don't like about them. I like all of them, actually. I use them a lot, and I'm actually a big fan of theirs. But my marketing strategy is not to be the fastest or the most scalable. So, for example, there's about 400 million crypto users in the world right now, but there's 8.5 billion people in the world that still don't know anything about crypto. So I feel like I don't want to compete against that market. I want to tap the market that's still new. And, Asia, it's overpopulated here. Like, for example, in Indonesia, there's about 300 million people here, and a lot of them, are newbies, and they need to know more about, using the blockchain and how it can help people. There's a lot of systems here that are antiquated and are not working very well, like the banking system. And there's a lot of corruption and there's a lot of problems with infrastructure. So the blockchain can help them with that. For example, we have decentralized financial systems, so we can help them, find capital, create liquidity pools. So it's kind of like a cooperative. So you can, pool your money into our financial system, and then we can also lend it out, but in a more simple way. It's not too complicated.
How does it work? I know we get a lot of emails from people who are wanting to enter into this space and use their projects for good and make a global impact. And there's a variety of ways that they want to do that. If they wanted to mint on your blockchain, could they do that?
Yeah, it's open source, so anyone can partner with us. All they need to do is just go to our website, ekta.io, EKTA.io, and they can, send us a message and fill out the form and say, this is what I want to do. So the most messages I get are from real world businesses and companies that want to get into the blockchain, maybe raise some funds for their business. And the easiest way to do it is through NFTs. So a lot of them are creating NFTs for, let's say, property development in the mountains here in Bali. They have about 50 villas. It's a villa complex run like a hotel, and they're building a jungle club. So to raise funds for the jungle club and then also be able to buy more land to develop their new projects, they created these private membership club NFTs. And so by selling out their NFTs, they can raise capital and then purchase more properties and build another resort.
I'm looking at the white paper right now, and it is very robust and detailed, which is amazing. So if you guys haven't gone to ektaworld.io, go and you could look at the white paper and really have a deeper understanding and get really granular with it. But my question is more about, you've developed a blockchain and then real world applications to it in a place that is, like you said, overpopulated and in a lot of areas that have poverty. So how do you convince people, the newbies, like we try to do, how do you convince people to kind of garner an understanding of this and, understand a blockchain and understand NFTs and what it could actually do for their lives?
Yeah. So our strategy is a B2B2C strategy. So we actually don't contact the consumers directly. So first we talk to a business owner that's on the Web 2.0 or not even on the web. And then we find a solution for them to come into Web 3, which is crypto and blockchain. And so, for example, there's this European company that has an online lottery system, but their issue is they're regional specific. So if you're an American or me, I'm Filipino, and I win the jackpot in Europe, I won't be able to withdraw the winnings. So they wanted a solution where people all over the world can play their games and join their lottery. So they're building their lottery on our blockchain. And basically they also wanted to expand here in Asia. So basically we can help them with our marketing, our direct marketing, our chain, can tokenize them as well. It's really cool. So we find really cool solutions. Basically when you play lottery, for example, you just purchase a lottery ticket and then you wait for the numbers to come out and hopefully you win the jackpot. But while you're holding this ticket, you're just holding this ticket. You're not earning money with it. With our solution, you actually purchase an NFT, which is a ticket, but this NFT is really cute. So it's actually a character. It's a lottery character. Her name is Lotta. And, she basically gives you privileges while you're holding this ticket. So you can have a subscription to year-long lottery. While you're waiting for the jackpot, you actually can use this ticket, you can stake it, and then you can earn rewards from it, because EKTA has a staking pool that has about 150% APR. So you're earning money while you're holding the ticket. And so everyone wins.
I'm sorry, this is a perfect segue, Heather, into staking. I think we almost made an episode about it, or we did. This is a really commonly misconstrued aspect of blockchain, and cryptocurrency. Can you elaborate on what staking actually is? And if I stake my money, how is it that I could earn money over the course of the next year, so to speak?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
I mean, to put it in simple terms, staking is like a term deposit. Like when you put money in the bank and, every month, let's say you lock it in for a year. I guess in the US nowadays, it's just maybe 0.5% of interest you get, or maybe or zero. So with our staking, we can earn, they can earn 150% because we can use the tokens they stake and we can lend it out and, invest in other businesses and then get a higher return and then give it back to the investor.
I see. What's a typical staking period, I guess? What do you encourage people to stake, if that's even a valid question?
Yeah. So with our coins, with our tokens, you can stake between a month or 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. The monthly rates are quite low. I mean, low for our blockchain. I mean, it's 12% basically for a year, which is 1% a month. So that's not so bad actually. 3 months, it goes as high as 70%, and then all the way to 12 months, it can be 150%. We're also launching our own exchange. So in 3 months from now, you can actually lend your coins to us, and we can pair it with our coins, and then sometimes our APRs go up to 400 to 600%, even 1,000%, because you can use it to invest in other businesses, and then you can invest it in other staking pools that are higher or other DeFi protocols, and then you just get a higher return that way. It's easier because in the blockchain you don't really have a physical office. Monthly operational costs are much lower than having a chain of bank branches, for example, and you have to pay a lot of staff and pay rent and all of that. We don't really have that.
I have a strange question, but I know like with Have NFT, there's the option to pay with your coins or use like a credit card and pay with regular fiat money. Is there a pro to con to using regular US dollars, using your debit card on something like this, or is it better to take the extra few steps to go ahead and get the coin and buy it that way, as far as like what your long-term objective is with the blockchain?
Yes, there's no real advantage of, it's the same thing. It's just if you already have a cryptocurrency in your wallet, you can use that cryptocurrency to swap for EKTA coins and then mint NFTs with them. Or if you're new to crypto, we're just giving you an opportunity to, get into the crypto game and swipe your credit card and then buy EKTA and use EKTA to mint. The reason why we need EKTA is because EKTA is our own chain. So in our blockchain, we have EKTA as our native token. So this EKTA has a utility. So you need to use EKTA to mint NFTs, to pay for network fees and all of that. It's just like Ethereum as well. Like if you go to OpenSea, you need Ethereum to pay for minting fees. It's the same process.
Well, we'll get into a couple of the projects that you mentioned, including Have NFT, which is obviously how we're working together. But can you talk about where projects will be purchased or posted? What marketplaces? Everyone's always familiar with, like you said, OpenSea. But what about for EKTA?
We have our own marketplace. It's called EKTA.NFT Marketplace. So EKTA basically is our own chain, and we're launching our own ecosystem. So basically, we're creating our own micronation. So put it really simple, it's like, you live in a town, and in the town, there's a bank, and in the town, there's a shop, there's a mobile carrier, there's roads and all of that. So we're building our own town with roads, with a bank, with a financial system, with shops, and you can do basically everything in there. But we're completely decentralized.
What's your vision for that? Like, what's your big vision for creating all that? What are you seeing?
Our vision is to improve people's lives and to help the environment through the blockchain. Everything we do has to do with improving people's lives, like, providing easy access to capital, making property more liquid and available to people, matching smaller investors to startups instead of, big VCs looking always for the next unicorn. We give small investors access and, rights to be able to find all these unicorns that were not available to smaller investors. We create games, that help planting trees, and also games that are educational. So actually while you're learning, you're earning as well. And so, we also have a foundation. So most of the proceeds of the lottery goes to foundations and charities, just like what Have is doing by having their Have NFTs minted, and the part of the funds goes to 100 different charities. Yeah. So we do the same. That's why that's why Steve and I, get along really well, and we share the same vision, and we're just like, we work really well together.
I'm on the white paper again, and I'm reading about bringing real world assets online. It says here, EKTA's first physical spaces are located near the island of Bali, where we aim to develop and tokenize land and real estate, including residential villas, et cetera, et cetera. Like, now things are starting to click for me a little bit. This is some of the things that I've heard, like in the future, you'll be able to buy a fraction of a Manhattan apartment for $1 million or something like that. But when you're developing this, I'm just telling you, listening to you, I'm like, how did you even conceptualize this? Like, this would take an eternity for me to even conceptualize. And here you are trying to just kind of push the pace and just get ahead. Like, where do you draw the inspiration and the knowledge, to be able to try and build something so robust and at the same time beneficial to
I was going to ask the same thing. Because
your
energy is so cool. Like, I know there's a story here.
What's going on here?
I've been traveling all my life. I grew up in the Philippines. I was born in the Philippines. We were a very poor country. Lucky enough, I was an athlete. I was able to get a scholarship to swim, to go to boarding school in America, to swim in America. I got a full scholarship to college, and my life improved because of sports and because of a scholarship. And then later on, I was able to, start a software company in the 90s and listed in the NASDAQ because of the dot-com boom. And then after that, I started traveling the world, and I got into property development for 20 years all over the world, in Uruguay, Spain, China, and then I moved to Bali. So I was doing really well with property development. And what happened, and I see, here in Southeast Asia, there's a lot of things that are not working. The road, like I had to work with my neighbors to chip in cash to build a road that was broken. The government can't even do that. So there's so many things that the government can't do. So I always imagined myself having like my own island and, building a new community there that's efficient, that provides everything for an entrepreneur, that can, have proper waste management, have basically green energy, and basically kind of like a school that can hone your skills if you want to be an entrepreneur. I bought this island about 8 years ago. I haven't developed it. I started developing a few things out of it. And then what happened was 2 years ago, there's this big COVID thing that's still going on. And so everyone left, all the tourists left Bali. So I was left with some hotels and some properties that I had to shut down because there's no tourists. And I met so many people that stayed in the island from all over the world, and they're all into doing online businesses, crypto, blockchain. And then they said, Berwin, you have so many cool properties, and you have this dream to create, a chain of islands and connect, islands and help people through transportation to education to clean medicine, clean water, all of the cold chains, transporting goods and food and medicine and books to the islanders. And he said, you should actually tokenize your business and put it in the blockchain, because if you study it, you'll know there's a lot of problems happening right now. There's a lot of solutions you can find through the blockchain. So yeah, I met a few like-minded people here in Bali. They're from all over the world, India, China, US. And then I met more people from Europe, from Africa, and we were talking about all these problems. And then I met some local Indonesians that also had all these problems. And I said, yeah, why don't we start our own micronation and just, create this world where we can actually fix problems.
Berwin, I don't even know my neighbors. I don't even talk to anyone around here, and you're like getting with like-minded people. Heather, I'm sorry, I had one follow-up to that, but this is crazy. When you've built this, how much longer, in your opinion, would the runway have been if the cryptocurrency, if that didn't exist? Like, how much can it speed up what you're trying to accomplish?
So I'm trying to do a 20-year project in 1 year. So yeah, so by year end this year, our ecosystem is fully functional, and basically we'll have a super app in our phone, which you won't even know it's crypto or blockchain. It's just like, okay, I open my wallet, I see my coin price, I can watch the news, I can go shopping, I can lend to an entrepreneur, I can invest in the business, maybe I can buy a lottery, maybe win the grand prize. If not, I can still stake it and earn some money. I can purchase my plane ticket. You can do everything within our app, and everything has to do with something with education or preserving forests or finding jobs for people, or lending an entrepreneur some startup funds to start the business. Because of blockchain, it's amazing. People should study a bit more. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. Yeah, 18 months ago, I didn't know anything about it. I literally just YouTube studied. I read 200 white papers. I just talked to people that were in the industry. We had a lot of industry meetups and Zoom calls, and I just learned a lot about it. And it's actually the future. It will really change the world.
Yeah. I was going to ask about energy, gas. How's all that calculated with this blockchain?
We are a proof of authority blockchain. So we are probably one of the greenest chains in the world. So for example, Bitcoin is a proof of work. So you actually have to do complex mathematical equations, and you need supercomputers to do this, and they use up a lot of energy. For example, Ethereum, they're moving from proof of work to proof of stake, but proof of stake still needs a lot of calculation because you don't know who who's managing the nodes, basically. So what you need to do is you need to create some kind of staking. So you have a stake in this business, so you don't want to harm the business, because if you do, you lose what you stake, or your deposit. If you do well, you get rewarded. So this is the way to gain trust from people you don't know. With proof of authority, we know who's looking after our nodes. We know the node operators because they're basically our business partners.
I was saying you know them, like you know who they are.
Yeah, we know them.
Call them up.
Yes, because they call us up. We call them up or they call us up, and we find solutions. Like, we have a fintech partner or a lottery system partner or a gaming partner. We know all of them. A remittance partner. So we know all of them, and they look after our nodes. And so it's proof of authority because you know who's doing it, and you authorize them to do that. So there's not a lot of computation going on there, and there's not a lot of energy usage. Wow. And also we're tokenizing a verified carbon unit. So we have an option in a few months from now to offset your carbon footprint as well through our blockchain. So we're going to tokenize that. We have a game called Meta Trees. So this is the tree planting game. And also some of the NFTs and tokens have embedded carbon. So you can offset your carbon there, or you can trade it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So the marketplace is launching here shortly, the EKTA NFT Marketplace, and one of the projects is Have NFT, which we've had Stephen Kuhn on to talk about that project. Can you talk a little bit about how you two became acquainted and how you took interest in this phenomenal project that we got coming up towards the end of the month?
February 21st. Yeah. So it was really amazing how I met Stephen. So I have an advisor in EKTA. His name is Sven. He basically has a company called Pitch House. So he matches investors and startups who need capital and funding. So Stephen needed to raise funds for Have because they do work for helping veterans empowerment, and also they have a real estate fund. And Sven suggested, why don't you try to raise capital through selling NFTs? And I have a perfect guy that can help you for that, because his blockchain is all about bridging physical world to the blockchain and improving people's lives and helping people. And it was a really funny time when I met him, because it was the lowest period of our lives in EKTA, because our own CTO, he attacked us and he took our coins and sold it in the market and tanked our price and basically ran away with all our money. And we were all over the internet like, oh no, EKTA got hacked, but it wasn't. It was actually an internal heist. And so I went live on an AMA and interviews, and I told people, don't worry about it. I'm going to rebuild EKTA. I will migrate our tokens to a new contract, and I will rebuild a new mainnet. And no one's going to lose any tokens, and everyone's going to be okay. And at that time, Stephen researched about me and was doubting me, and he was saying like, why should we work with you? Why should we trust you? You're not even secure. Your CPO hacked you.
Wow.
I said, yeah, that's the problem. The rarest commodity in the world is trust, and so I'm just very trusting. So I trusted the wrong person, which will never happen again, because now we really have a very strict and secure measures. We have a zero trust DevSecOps. So like everyone double checks everyone. But at that time, Stephen, he was just saying, why should I work with you? And I said, a lot of people, when an attack like this happens, they never recover. I went live and I said, I'm gonna make sure no one loses their tokens. I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna come back stronger. And Stephen's in the army, and I was an ex-athlete, and I said, what do you do when you lose a battle? You just regroup, strategize, and try to win the war. And I'm not a quitter. And then we really connected so well with that we're partners in this project.
It's amazing.
How confident are you in Have NFT, for newbies? Heather and I have military affiliations, of course, so we're behind it in a major way. But how confident are you that this project is going to have the impact, that Stephen's been talking about and all this good stuff?
Yeah, I'm very confident that we're going to do so well. We're probably going to sell out, actually. I mean, first of all, Stephen's a great guy, and he has good connections, and he has a good group of people backing him, and his community is solid. Also, we're making it as easy as possible for a newbie to purchase an NFT. That's why we're introducing credit card integrations into our blockchain. We're doing a lot of tutorials on how to open a MetaMask. We're basically being very patient, walking you through, holding your hand to make sure that you're able to open a MetaMask, purchase a cryptocurrency called EKTA, and then mint the NFTs. And we're also giving people enough time to mint, because sometimes the mints go so fast, right? They sell out in 6 hours or, like an hour. So we're doing the mint longer. So we'll probably have 3 days for the whitelisters and a couple more days for the public sale, and then in a couple more days for the rest of the people to catch up. So we're trying our best. I mean, the physical world is huge. It's a big world, but sometimes the physical world also is slower than the blockchain. So we just need to be a bit more patient and give people more time.
I know we're getting close to time, but some newbie questions, just some kind of rapid fire terms or we might not understand. I know this might seem so obvious, Berwin, but everybody talks about how you can see what happens on the blockchain. So we get these NFTs. We know that they're donating to XYZ. We believe the creators, etc. But how does like a regular old person who's bought these NFTs actually see what these NFTs are doing and accomplishing? Where do I go to watch the blockchain? I want to read this. How do I do it?
Oh, yeah. You can go to ektascan.io. If you go to ektascan.io, that's basically our block browser. So you actually see what's happening with the blocks. And you can see the smart contract and you can see what's written there.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
I'm on it right now. Wow,
that's really
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
Another thing I was going to ask is EKTA is a blockchain mainnet. What does that mean?
Yeah. Mainnet, blockchain mainnet is basically we are like Solana or Cardano or Ethereum. We are our own chain. We have our own chain and we have our own nodes. We have 16 nodes. Basically, this is the foundation to anything that we can build on top of it. So the NFT marketplace, our hybrid exchange, our gaming, our lottery, everything is on top of our chain. So our chain has our own blocks and our own native token, which is called EKTA. And this is what we use to do transactions. This is what we use for governance, for our DAO. DAO is called Decentralized Autonomous Organization. It's just basically board members of EKTA. This is basically the foundation to build anything on top of it. That's basically a mainnet.
I just got to tell everyone who's watching or listening, like I'm on ektascan.io. I've not seen this on any other blockchain, and maybe I just didn't look hard enough, but this is really interesting how you can see the individual blocks.
Yeah.
Heather, to further answer that question for the listeners on the mainnet part, let's just imagine there's have NFTs on OpenSea or something like that. And when you go to buy it, like you actually need to be connected to the EKTA mainnet because it's being sold on that blockchain. So you're probably logged into Ethereum mainnet. So you have to get off of that, get on that one to purchase it.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing about our EKTA mainnet and our EKTA marketplace and everything about EKTA is we have a bridge. So you can do everything on EKTA. And then if you want to go to Ethereum or to Binance Smart Chain, you can just go to our bridge.ekta.io, and then you can just bridge your tokens and later on your NFTs.
Okay, I got another big picture question. But Metaverse, we know that it's a part of your guys' game plan. There's so much confusion around the metaverse because everybody's like, what does that even mean? What is the point of it? And when you're talking about bridging blockchain and physical world, where's the metaverse in that? Why does that matter?
Because a lot of people like to create their own universe, they're dreamers. And, like our metaverse is more like, imagine a world where there's no deforestation and the world is green, and it's kind of like a game. So people like playing games. So I think the metaverse in EKTA's metaverse is more like making people understand blockchain easier by playing games. So basically, and very simple games. It's just NFT games. It's just like a card game, and it just makes you understand things more. And you can earn from it as well while you're playing.
Well, everyone, please be sure to go to ekta.io. Berwin, thank you so much for your time. There's so much. I'm looking at all the assets, all the different addresses that you mentioned during this podcast, and it is clean. It looks user-friendly. It looks intuitive. It doesn't look intimidating, which I think is very, very important for our audience. So we appreciate it. Heather, do you have
I have a random question from a listener to end it out. Are you ready for that? Okay. All right. We ask random questions at the very end, non-NFT related, just to get to know you a little bit more. And this comes from Jesus Sanez at Sanez of 300. So everybody give him a follow. But he asks, if all of your wishes were granted today, how would you describe your life 5 years from now?
Oh God. I just wish that my son and my daughter would be proud of me to see, see what I'm doing right now. Like, yeah, I just wish they see daddy and they say, I'm really proud of you, daddy. You're doing a really good job. So that's my wish. And actually, I actually draw trees with him, and we're doing some art now, and hopefully, we can do some inspiration and, sell it as an NFT and plant trees.
Of course, exactly.
Super cool.
That's amazing. Okay. Well, thank you so much again for your time. Everyone, Have NFT launching on the EKTA blockchain February 21st. Do not miss it. I believe the whitelist is already sold out, but this is going to be a game-changing project and obviously something very newbie friendly. So thank you so much again, Berwin.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks, Heather.
Yes.